I've been playing around with the new castle pack, and there is one particular swatch on all of the items that really stands out to me. I do realize that it's a little bit ridiculous to make an entire video about one swatch from a kit, but all of the items have this really beautiful mossy texture as one of the swatches. The other swatches are nice, like don't get me wrong, I do like the other ones. We have some kind of cool dirty textures and stuff too, but it's this mossy one that is speaking to me, and all of the items have it. The wallpapers, the foundations, everything has this really beautiful moss texture, and I kind of want to take this and run with it and build something using it, some sort of like overgrown cottagey castle vibe. And you see all these pretty little flower details in it, that kind of makes me think fairies. I should clarify again, there are no fairies. There are no fairies in The Sims 4. People really want fairies in The Sims 4. They keep getting talked about nonstop. So when I say I'm gonna build a fairy castle, I am not giving you a hint, okay? They don't tell me anything about upcoming packs. There is no fairy confirmation. There are no fairies. I just like the idea of a pretty little fairy castle thing, okay? Look, okay, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I was Googling a bunch of fairy castle pictures. This one is a miniature dollhouse on Etsy, but like, look how cute that is. That's the kind of thing I want to build. This is probably one of those times where I might have to ask you to trust the process, because I don't really know how I want to lay this out in The Sims. So it might take me a few tries to figure out how it should be. Also, in my dreams, I love the idea of an actual round tower. The problem with the round walls in The Sims though, is that you can't really use them for anything. Like if I did this, you can't really put stairs in there. Like the roundness doesn't really fly in The Sims 4. And then you can't really put walls up to it either because they don't connect. The curved walls are just so annoying to deal with in this game. They make it so much more difficult than it needs to be. Sometimes I do think it's worth it, but other times I don't know. Why don't you have walls? What is happening? That's a new one. I haven't really seen it do stuff like that yet. Okay, well, I'm kind of picturing something like this. We're probably gonna want to make this like way taller as well. I'm picturing very tall and skinny for this castle, I think. Oh no, that's a little bit ugly. I gotta be honest, I don't know if that's gonna work. Trust the process, trust the process. It's gonna be fine, you guys. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be so fine. I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried either, okay? Just, again, trust the process. I kind of want to use actual roofs for a lot of this building. Maybe not for the whole thing, but for a bunch of it. The castle kit and roofs don't really go all that well together, at least from what I've noticed. We'll figure it out. Like I said, it's gonna be fine. You see, with this, it makes the walls look really weird up there. Doesn't that look kind of strange? Let me try and curve this tower a little bit, see if we can make it a bit more pointy and interesting, because I think that always helps to have it be not so plain and flat. And then maybe this part could also be a tower, but shorter instead. Like, what if this one was only a couple high, so it becomes sort of like that? I don't know. I think the tall wall height is also not helping. Maybe medium is better. Now it looks like Mickey Mouse. That was not the intention. That is never the intention. Okay, well that's not good. Okay, so I'm envisioning that this is where the staircase is gonna go. We'll have like kind of a nice fancy entrance walkway up to here. It might need to be wider though, now that I think about it. Again, trust the process. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be so fine. Everybody, don't even worry about it. Everything's totally fine. It doesn't look weird at all. It's all good. Now we can have the bigger front door. So that's kind of more the vibes that I was going for. Maybe it would be better to have this there on like the lower piece. What's this though? What's going on here? I don't know. Do I just try and connect that up like this? I don't know, maybe. I genuinely have not got a single clue what it should be like. I'm kind of just experimenting. That looks terrible. Why does that go inside? Really? Can I even delete that wall? Like, is that even possible? Oh yeah, okay, sorry. I don't trust the round walls. You know this. I can't even draw the wall here. Oh my God. I cannot believe that I used to be excited about the round walls. When we first got these, I was happy. When I look back on that emotion, I feel embarrassed. I should have known. The Sims 4 and round things do not get along. It's a disaster. Let me get that castle wallpaper on, because once we have that, it'll start looking better. I feel like once you have this, all of a sudden you can see what the vision is. Like now I look at it and I think, oh my God, fairy castle. Before I looked at it and thought, oh my God, disaster. But now you can kind of see what we're going for, maybe a little bit. Should I do one shorter tower, or should I, maybe this part should be the same height, a third tower in the corner. I think it might actually be better and maybe preferable if this was like over a bit more, but that's gonna ruin the roofing, isn't it? Well, as long as you look at it from like a certain angle, it won't be too bad. It'll be fine. Okay, build a little bump out right there too. Castles, they can be a weird shape. I think that that's almost to be expected, right? This is like an old building made by mystical creatures that literally don't exist, not even in The Sims. So it's okay if it has some kind of weird shapes going on. At least that's what I'm gonna keep telling myself. Okay, some of these tall windows are not going to work with this. I'm not gonna be able to fit that like at all. Some of the other ones will work, although annoyingly, there's not like a mossy swatch of the windows, but that's okay. I don't think it needs to be. Do you think that's too much? If I have the windows like that? I think it's okay from the inside, at least as okay as it's gonna be. The Sims 4 and there's curved walls, so it's not gonna be great on the inside, but at least I'm prepared for that, you know? Like I know what I've gotten myself into here. I do love that sort of arch thing. And I'll probably put the frieze here on this section as well. Do I put a door? Is it worth having a door? I guess it'd be cool to have a door to the balcony, right? Oh, and that's cool. The window like that from the outside looks really good on the side of the building. I don't really know how the windows will be once I do the floor plan, so I might end up moving them around a little bit, but that's okay. We can keep them this way for now and then always adjust later. This is what I did in the castle that I built yesterday that I have not posted on YouTube yet, but I kind of took these little, oops, yikes. I kind of took the little tiny windows and I curved them up the pillar of the tower. The other windows don't fit on the round walls, and don't fit is almost an understatement. They totally break. So if you want to do the round towers, these are kind of your only option. I realize that is extremely disappointing and sad, but welcome to The Sims 4. That's just kind of how it is. I think the front is looking a bit busy, but maybe once I have some plants on it, it'll be okay. I'm gonna go into debug and I want to try and pull up a lot of ivy and vines and stuff like that to cover the exterior with. The university pack has the stuff that I'm primarily thinking about here, but I want to get this and have a bunch of pretty stuff like this all around the side of the building. We can actually fit in quite a lot of it too, which should be good. My plan is to like cover the windows with it, although I don't know if, oh yikes. This doesn't work like that. You have to size it down, Kayla. It's clipping inside of the building and I don't really want it to clip. Oh, why must you do this to me, game? You can't even really put it on the rounded parts because it doesn't fit right, obviously, because it is too wide, so it's just going straight out. This is fine. I'm gonna make it work. We will put it in as many places as we can. And it actually does work in quite a few areas. Oh my god, the lighting is so bad on this lot. I feel like I can't even see what I'm doing. I might just like let it clip a little bit on the inside and then try to mess with it a little bit to hide it on the interior. Because look, that's gonna clip no matter what. And maybe I'll just put, I don't know, curtains there and we can pretend that it's not happening. You can only see it, oh, well, it is pretty obvious that it's clipping. Just don't look at it, okay? Sometimes you just gotta do what you need to do to embrace the fairy thing. And this time, what I need to do is let it clip. I need to just allow it to happen. There's also like this stuff from cottage living. The problem is, you see how far that comes off the wall? It doesn't really work right. It also doesn't really match what we're using right now. This might be the best that I can do as far as putting things on the rounded wall pieces though. We're obviously not gonna be able to get the other kinds of ivy up there, so I kind of might have to make this work even if the colors don't match right. And then from Get Together, we have this kind of pretty floral one too. So I may go through and add a little bit of this in a few areas. I'm thinking I'll just try to like mix and match and layer it in a couple of spots so we get some pretty florals. Obviously these vines are only at the bottom, so I don't know if that's bad. It's just so obvious to me that it's like the same thing repeated all the way up and down the sides of this building, and I think I hate that about it. Maybe if I try and put some more florals in, the flowers might help to break it up a little bit. We might be onto something with this. I think that that's looking all right. Plus, once we have more landscaping outside, it'll all kind of come together a bit better. We are obviously going to use this little walkway to get up to the front of the building. That was the whole inspiration here, so we have to do it. I'm not really sure if it's worth me trying to build us a little private garden thing. Part of me is thinking that maybe a hedge would be better. The hedge has purple flowers. I guess we could do green. Oh, look at the little hedge archway. Is that better or worse? I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe the organized fence is bad though. Like maybe it's better if we make it look kind of overgrown in the middle of this area. I feel like even having this is kind of not so good, but if we put enough plants around it, it'll blend in. Let me think floor plan for a second, because we've kind of failed to do that, and that is probably the most important part of this. I don't think we'll use the 3rd floor because it'll be hard to get up there. This building is kind of a weird shape. I think I'm gonna struggle a lot with how to put the floor plan in here. Okay, so I'm initially wondering about doing the floor plan kind of like this. I will say that it makes this window look silly, but maybe I could get a smaller one, because that way it can still be lined up, but then it will hopefully be sitting on top of the stairs. Yeah, okay, that fits really nicely. Please ignore the clipping of the leaves. Just don't worry about that part. Then we have like a little entrance. You walk in through here. This is so strange. I realize that this layout is really weird. But imagine the kitchen is kind of along this back wall. We put like a small circular dining table in here. I'll use different chairs, obviously. I'm just trying to space it out. Maybe this part downstairs in the weird round section becomes the bathroom. And I mean, maybe it would be better to not have a formal entrance. I'm just thinking it's a castle, so like you probably want to have a formal entryway. I guess I could move the kitchen. I could do the same thing and have the bathroom be like there. I don't know what I'm doing. I might just try and start thinking about furnishings for a second, because maybe once I have some more furniture in here, it'll make a bit more sense. Okay, so this is not really screaming formal entryway at the moment, but hear me out. What if we had like a living room situation here in the entrance? So you walk in and you can find a place to sit. We have like a library. Perhaps, oh God, that doesn't want a place there. Oh no. Perhaps this part becomes the office and they have, oh, you don't want a place there either. Okay. I can't delete the chair. Oh, this game is so cursed. What I was gonna say is perhaps this becomes the office. I'll give them like a little typewriter or something as a starting point. And that's there in this little nook, because we can't really put much else in that weird nook because it's such a strange shape. This is still the bathroom. We still have the dining room back here in this corner. Unless we wanted to be really brave and put the kitchen in this corner. I probably shouldn't even say that. Like I probably shouldn't even throw out that concept, because kitchens and round don't go together. No, never mind. Sorry. I shouldn't even talk about that like that. That's a terrible idea. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm going upstairs. I just can't. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a disaster. Okay, so I'm wondering if maybe up here, this part becomes a bathroom. Again, we get like a weird second bathroom and the weird round parts, because round is easy to fit bathrooms into. And then what if, and this is strange, okay? These rooms, they make no sense. But what if we tried somehow to have this be 2 bedrooms? Or it could just be one. It could be 1 bedroom, and maybe they have like a, I don't know. The shape is bad. This is a bigger disaster than I thought. I don't even know where to put the bed, because you would think you want to center it with one of these cool windows, but even that doesn't work. So I'm really struggling with where it should go upstairs. I think I've made a mistake with like how I've organized and placed everything, if I'm being honest. I guess maybe I could draw the wall here, and then this really cool bed could go on this wall, but then like you don't want the door to be next to it. Maybe the bed could go in the weird round room. That's an idea. Not a good idea, but it's an idea. I wonder if I could just close off. Like, what if I just said no to this part and we just pretend it's not there? We could do that. Nothing wrong with that. Look. Oh, no, stop. Too far. Sorry. There, see? It's gone. Doesn't exist. That part, not real. Don't worry about that part. That makes the bedroom make a little bit more sense. And then we can use this pretty bed, because Realm of Magic has this beautiful floral bed, and we have to use that. We have to use that. So it's a 1 bed, 2 bath house. I don't know if that's good, but it's happening. That's what it is. Oh my God. The freezes are so annoying to work with. Okay, if you're having that problem with the weird clipping, you can hold shift and that lets you place a freeze on just 1 wall. So by doing that, you can go through and you can fix it. You see how it's like trying to place it inside by default? If I hold shift, it places it just here, just on that 1 wall. And that way I can avoid the weird clipping. Okay. I hate this game. If you're having that problem also, you can try deleting the fence to like make this not a room. And then when you try and put it back, you have to like trick the system basically. So what I'm gonna do is not fill in the whole area. You see how I've drawn this fence in the wrong place? I'm gonna move that fence now. So the game does not see this part as a room. I can't click on just that floor. That won't break the freeze. Again, freezes in The Sims 4, super glitchy, really annoying to deal with, but you kind of have to just play by by their rules. It's the only way. You kind of have to do what they want you to do, and then you can usually manage to make it work and be fine. I think I might use these vampires' wood floors. I don't know if that's good. At least upstairs, I'll use them. Maybe I could do stone on the inside. I don't know. Do we commit to the whimsical plant thing? No, see, you can't do that inside. It looks bad inside. Do we paint the walls stone inside? It's giving castle. Having the stone inside, it certainly is committing to the castle thing. I think it should be one or the other. It should be walls or floor. I don't know if it should be both. I have to be careful because it doesn't want to place the wallpaper where I want it to be, and it keeps trying to fix the outside walls. Like, look, it just changed this one. So I'm gonna have to go back and make sure that it didn't delete my wallpaper outside and turn it into plain, because I don't want plain wallpaper outside. That is not the goal. I'm trying this chandelier from the base game because it's kind of golden, so I'm putting that around a little bit on the downstairs. And now I'm trying to think about curtains because I don't know how whimsical fairy I want to go on the inside. This doesn't really fit on most of these windows either. It looks kind of weird on like all of them. It's too big for that, doesn't fit on that. It's like too wide for this, and then size down it's too small. So maybe I shouldn't use that. Are there any other curtains? See, these are kind of whimsical in the way that I want them to be, but they're like too whimsical and not enough castle. Does that make sense when I say that? They also don't fit everything. Oh, this is so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. It's almost like you can't really build fairy stuff in a game that doesn't have fairies. Wow, I'm so shocked that the fairy-less game doesn't have enough fairy items for me to like building with it. I think that these base game curtains are kind of the vibes more so, just because they kind of fit the castle-y thing, but I don't know. They don't fit the windows, so that's like a whole other problem. It doesn't even want to raise up. I hate placing windows in this game. The curtains try and slot to it wrong, and it always bothers me so much. You see, like, why is it trying to slot there? That doesn't make any sense. I wonder if I could get away with moving the windows. See, it doesn't look as good anymore, but also it's completely covered with the vines anyway, so can I move the windows? Maybe I move the windows out of the way and I place the windows where the curtains go. And we base the window placement on where the curtains should be. Okay, new plan. What if we close off the kitchen? I changed the window out. I actually deleted the window. But what if we change the kitchen to be something like this? I really like the Realm of Magic stuff for this because I feel like it kind of fits the vibes that I need. I'm not really feeling obsessed with the color of the countertops. I also wish that I had upper cabinets that matched, but again, it's The Sims 4, nothing does. Why would it? That would just make way too much sense if things actually matched each other, and for some reason this stupid pack does not come with upper cabinets. I will still make it work. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure it out. There's actually a bunch of stuff from Realm of Magic that will probably work really well for this. So right now I'm trying to fill in some clutter in this kitchen. I'm putting like a couple of little bookshelf items. I might get some little plants and things. I'm not too sure how much I should clutter it. I also don't really know how many packs I want to use because part of me is like, oh, just use all of them. Just go all out, do anything. But then also that's probably a bad idea. So I'm trying to be slightly reasonable here when I'm thinking about what to add. That is not really kitchen clutter, but it's good clutter, I think. And then we can get some nice like fairy related artwork and stuff to put on the walls and fill everything in with. I actually think that this kettle kind of matches. It obviously looks a little bit more modern, but I can definitely use that kettle here and have it still look okay. So that's good. It gives us like at least one more item to put on the kitchen counters and not have it look so empty. These gold wall sconces I think are kind of creepy, but like maybe in a fun way. So I might use those. They definitely seem like outside lights, but we're building like an old castle, so I think we can make some weird things work. I'm trying to think of gameplay items that'll be useful too, and like this bonsai tree, I don't know, it might not fit the best there, but it's also still useful to have. And we don't really have a ton of room to work with. Like our options are kind of limited because it's a small house and a lot of it is round, and the round is like basically useless. I'm thinking right now that maybe this floral piano could be kind of good. It definitely takes up a lot of room, but I'm wondering if I can sneak it in the corner like this. My other option, if not the piano, is to put like a chess table here, but I'd kind of rather have the piano. And then we'll get some really nice pretty artwork on like all the walls. Lots of gold I'm leaning towards. Do you think I can even fit a bookshelf behind this desk? I don't know. I think it looks kind of weird, but I feel like it's probably still fine to do. It's just hard because the walls are such a strange shape. Nothing really fits right when you try and use this space. Is that a column? Oh, this is like the edge of the stairs clipping, and we can't really fix that either. You know what they need? Oh, maybe not. It doesn't want to place. I was gonna say they need like a 7,500 simoleon painting, but maybe it's not gonna work. Let's get this one. This is a 4,000 simoleon painting instead. It's much more affordable. Only $7,000. Totally more reasonable actually. Well, maybe I'll use this thing upstairs. We could get a clock. That would probably fit here well because it's skinnier, so there's still more of a pathway. I'm kind of going for a bunch of green and pink combos in this house, and I think that it's working. I will say that I really wish I had another window. I wish there was like a slightly bigger window here. You can't do that on the round. It just doesn't work. Look at how the curtains look there. You see how they're like way off the wall? Okay, this thing looks a little bit magical, so I've decided to use that. We're gonna put that and just accept it. These also look a bit magical, so I might get a couple of them and do them in a couple different swatches. That could be kind of nice. Simple little plants in a couple of areas. Does this scream old to you? What if there was only a wall light in the bathroom and it was like kind of dark and creepy in here, and we get like a weird mahogany tub and we just make it really old seeming? Dark and dreary isn't the vibes of the house. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know what came over me. It was a fun idea in theory, but this house is not like a dark, scary old castle. It's like a fairy princess castle. Annoyingly, this does not come with like gold. What I want is a tub that has gold accents like that one. I also want a toilet with gold accents. Do you think the fairies need toilet paper? Do you think that the fairies even have a toilet need at all? The windows are up extremely high, which I guess makes sense because they are in a tower, but it does make it kind of difficult to decorate around. Oh, this thing's like a old-timey towel bar from Get Famous. Oh, can't move it. Hold on. Be careful with where you place it. When you're using curved walls, you gotta be really careful. I don't know about the purple, but I guess it's happening, so okay. We'll use that. I don't know how to fill the middle of the room. It just seems so weird to me. I shouldn't have done all this round stuff. I should have just done, you know, instead of using round walls, you know how back in the day before we had round walls, we used to do turrets like this with the diagonals? I actually think that's better. You can make it smaller this way. Like, you don't have to worry about the curve stuff because the game can't handle curves. I never thought I would see the day where I say diagonals are better than anything, but diagonals are better. They're just easier to work with. That looks bad too. I don't know. This bathroom also has some kind of weirdly placed windows. Maybe I'll put the tub there. It's so small that like it basically just lets in light. You can't really see much out of it, but it might be nice to have the tub there. Oh, can't grab that again. Oh my god. You place it wrong and all of a sudden it's just ruined. I can't even copy it. Look. Okay. Vanity. Mirror. I'm using that same old-time antique toilet, which I have now placed in the wrong spot. If you try and get in the room and like change the angle, you can use, oh no, you can usually find it a little bit better. Hello, come here. Oh my god. Okay, I've decided that they don't get anything else in the bathroom. I've had enough. That is all the bathroom stuff for me today. I've always thought that this thing was kind of fairy-like, this fireplace, but the colors just, it doesn't work, you know? Like that just does not fit in this room. I'm wondering if maybe the vampire's fireplace would be better, but even then this barely fits. It's because of the rug. I don't think the rug really works with it. Maybe we have no fireplace. Okay, here's a cute idea. What if this little nook back here is like the fairy nursery? So they have a baby. The baby doesn't have their own room yet because they're only small and you know, the house is only small. But then we could use this thing because this bassinet is so beautiful. I don't know if fairies need changing tables. I also don't really think that that matches like anything at all, but it's fine. We've kind of gone away from the fairy thing at this point. Look at that. Look at how ridiculous that is. You can't put anything on these walls. The smaller ones are a little bit less annoying looking. Like the smaller paintings kind of fit a bit better and more easily. But imagine that. We have like a little nursery sideways area. I wonder if I could even build a door into it. I hadn't really considered that. That might be nice. Oh, that's okay. That's clipping a lot. I didn't realize it was clipping that bad. Again? You're doing it again? Oh my god. The trim is so annoying. It's because I built new walls. I have to go back and put it back again. Okay. I don't know what else to add. I don't know what more I could do on the inside. I'm kind of interested in going out to the exterior and working on some landscaping now. I forgot to put a stair railing. That's probably important too. A stair railing and then maybe like a little bit of trim here. Cause you see how there's like weird, I don't know, it's like weird gapping almost. If you hold shift, you can place little trims there to help split it up. I guess I could use the new trim if I wanted to. That could be nice. Oh, let me get that really expensive painting as well. Let me use that one. I keep trying. This will be our chance. We can put it here above the staircase. That's nice. And then I think that might be the interior done. It's not the best. I can't deal with the round rooms. It's frustrating me to no end, so I have to just like pull myself away. I need to work on the outside because that's more fun for me. Now I'm going through debug and I'm gonna start lining stuff up. For example, I'm gonna want a ton of mushrooms, so I'm just gonna stack a bunch of them here so I can grab from there. And then there's stuff like this little log. I might want a couple of those. I wanna grab trees first, kind of like these, and then really fill in the lot with a bunch of beautiful landscaping. I think we can get plants pretty up close to the building too. Like I'm okay with overlapping our little pathway and the stairs a bit. Oh, I'm obsessed with this little tree. I think that's perfect for this. It helps to fill in some of the space a bit more. Also, I don't think I realized how good this might be for this. So maybe I'll try and raise this up and put that on the wall a little bit too. Oh, is that too much? Maybe it's too much. Oh, these bushes are way bigger than I thought. My flowers barely fit. I guess I can size them up really big. This is meant to be magical, so we can have like very large flowers. I think I'm planning on using a bunch of the cottage living debug stuff and then a bunch of stuff from the romantic garden pack. Romantic garden was like basically made for this. This is like its exact time to shine, so we'll try and fit it in here. And this is kind of what I'm talking about by like kind of putting the mushrooms around the place. I'm gonna sneak them into like little corners where they might fit. Oh, I really like these flowers because they're tall, so it looks nice next to the huge sized up cottage living ones, and hopefully it helps to bring in some more color. We can mix and match the pinks and purples this way. Okay, that does not match. The color of that is probably not the best. In fact, the gray is maybe a bit better. It's still not right, unless maybe the dark could be good. Right now, I'm thinking about using this fence just along like one corner. We'll landscape kind of in front of the fence as well, but I want to do this because I want to have like a garden for the Sims. I want them to have like planter boxes. Okay, so this is what I've got so far in the front. I'm kind of wanting to keep this here. I like how it helps to cover up the rest of the sides of the little walkway. And now I want to get like a little stone path. I kind of want to like layer these together and make a little path that curves around and comes back here. And that'll be how you get to the planter boxes. These are in debug, so if you use the debug cheats, there's two of them. You got to type bb.show hidden objects and then bb.show live edit objects. I know, it's kind of silly sounding. But when you use those two debug cheats, you can access a bunch of items from the environment, and these are some of them. And they're nice because it looks like a little pathway for your Sims to walk on. It's just a nice detail, like a visual detail. And maybe I'll angle these kind of around the sides of the pathway. I don't know, I think I'm trying to make it so it's like in the shape of a circle almost, so your Sims could just walk up and use all this. Okay, so something kind of like that is what I was picturing. And then I'll just put some bushes down here behind all this. Wow, that is so tall. When you kind of get down to about Sim height, you realize just how big that thing is sized up. I'm just going through and kind of trying to mimic the landscaping that I already did by like relayering all, whoa, spinning me around. I'm just trying to like layer all this same stuff out around the back a few places. The back's not really as important as the front because your Sims won't even see this most of the time, but it's still nice to have stuff filled in back here. And obviously I want it to look cohesive everywhere. I want this whole place to look like it's completely surrounded in overgrown flowers. I don't really feel obsessed with this part back here, so maybe I should try and size it down. It's just like, it's too much. And I realize how silly I sound saying it's too much, because like, yeah, it is too much. That's kind of the point. Okay, maybe that's okay. Maybe that looks good. So here's how it's looking from the front right now. I think once I get some terrain paint in, it'll come together a bit more. And if you like this castle build, I've been working on a giant castle on Twitch. I spent like 3.5 hours on it last night, and we're gonna try and finish it today, but it's a much bigger castle. I'm hoping to post that video on YouTube soon. It's just, you know, it's not done yet. But if you want to come by, my Twitch channel is just lilsimsie, and I play The Sims over there like pretty much every day. And obviously when there's new packs coming out, we always play with them. The Sims took ages to get me access to codes to the pack, but I actually have the codes now, so we can actually do the giveaways of the pack today. And here is what the finished product is looking like. I just want to go in now and get some last minute light details. I think it would probably be helpful for us to have some lights on the front door. Oh, and a mailbox too. We definitely need a mailbox. This one is from Werewolves, but it kind of gives me fairy vibes, so I'm gonna try and use that one. And here's the finished interior. We also have this balcony up here that I haven't put anything on yet, and I was kind of thinking about putting a telescope here. Maybe I'll use the pretty werewolf one, because that looks kind of old-timey. And then here's what the finished interior looks like. So when you first walk into the front door, we've got a little living room. There's kind of like an office nook back here in this first round area. There is one bathroom, terrible bathroom, in the second round area. We have a huge piano. There's a nice sized kitchen. And then in that third round area, we have the dining room. And this, I think, makes the most sense out of all of the other round things. Upstairs, there's like a little hallway with access to the balcony. There's a second bathroom, also terrible. And then we have the big bedroom, and through there, we have access to the little tiny nursery. I always come here and think like, oh, this is gonna be so nice. I'll do these cool round walls. And then after I've done it, I'm like, wow, I really should not have done those cool round walls. That was a huge mistake. But yeah, this was kind of in its huge mistake era with this build, but that's the finished thing. I don't know if I can bring myself to touch the round stuff anymore. What's happening there? Is that just weird clipping, like weird gapping? Yeah, it's because of the round stuff. You have like weird holes everywhere because you can't put the straight walls up against it, but don't think about that part too much. And then this is the fully finished fairy castle. Secret fairy castle, I will call it on the gallery. It is 1 bedroom and 2 bathrooms. It's 109,000 simoleons and it's like a 1-bedroom house. I won't even call it 2 bedrooms because the nursery off the bedroom is hardly a bedroom. But this is, yeah, there you go. That is my secret fairy castle. I hope that you like it. I really did my best, and hopefully I can redeem myself later today on my Twitch stream. So stay tuned because the next couple of days I will get that video up for you. The big one, the big castle speed build, as soon as I can finally get the thing finished. And with that, I'm gonna go and I will catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. I remind you again, there is no news about fairies. Me saying this is not some secret hint about fairies, okay? They don't tell me anything. I'm trying to make it so clear, and yet people still don't believe me.